What's going on, guys? Canadian Gold Saver here with another video reminding you it's not what you make but what you save in the end that matters. Talking about tax-free savings account versus RRSPs. Here in Canada, tax season is on its way right now, so people are always wondering what's the best thing for them, RRSPs or tax-free savings account. Now, obviously, everybody's situation is always different. I am not a tax expert. I am not a financial expert. I'm just sharing what my own experiences are, what my own thoughts are, and what I think you should do. And what I think you should do is anything. Save, save, save is always the best thing. Whether you go with tax-free savings accounts or whether you go with RRSPs or save up in the form of gold. It really all doesn't matter as long as you're saving. Now, when I say it all depends on your situation, that really does mean a lot. So, a couple of good points and a couple of bad things about both. Now, just to give you a little bit of background for those guys that don't know the difference between the two, RRSPs I think is mainly used for lowering your income during the tax season. So the money that you put into it lowers your income, therefore you pay less taxes when you perhaps go to a lower tax bracket, etc. Now, the whole theory behind it is that when you do retire and you start to take out your RRSPs, whether it's through taking out every single year through I forgot what it's called, income retirement fund, for example. When you retire, you're supposed to be making less, obviously, than what you were making when you're working. So therefore, you'd be taxed at a lower bracket, right? Now, keep in mind that when you're putting in money to RRSPs or tax-free savings accounts, it's all after-tax dollars. I prefer, obviously, the tax-free savings account. I think tax-free savings account is much, much better. It allows you much more freedom. For myself, I'm starting to invest in stocks, passive income through dividend investing. That way, you never know what life throws at you. And if you ever need money, you are free to withdraw the money from your tax-free savings account without any sort of penalties and things like that, as long as you don't over-invest or over-contribute to your tax-free savings account based on your contribution limits. So with the RRSP, for example, you can't do that. You're going to get charged withholding tax. And then at the end of the year, depending on how much money you've taken out, how much money you've earned for that year, you could potentially be paying a lot more taxes than what you've gained from lowering your tax income for that given year that you've put in RRSPs. So what I try to do is obviously do everything. I invest in crypto, I invest in gold, I put money into my RRSPs and tax-free savings account. More so on the tax-free savings account than the RRSP. I find that because the RRSPs, whatever contribution limit room you don't use, you can save it for the following years and the following years and the following years. So again, theoretically, as you get older and as you progress in your working career, you're going to be making more money, hopefully. And that's where the perhaps RRSP benefits do come in. Now, one could argue that, well, you want to put money into your RRSPs often and as early as possible to take advantage of the tax sheltering within that account to earn, whatever you're investing in through compound interesting, whether you put it in mutual funds, whatever the case is. That's totally up to you. But again, if you don't have enough money to max out your either tax-free savings account or your RRSPs, you can do a 50-50 split. I'm more on a 70-30 split. Obviously, if I have enough money, I would max out completely both accounts. But I would prefer, and you can definitely follow my advice if you'd like, to go more towards the tax-free savings account. Let's say, for example, you're just starting out and you have both accounts open and you have 10 grand for the year saved up. I would put 7 in the tax-free savings account and 3 in the RRSPs. That way, you can actually see how the process works when you do your taxes, how much tax return you actually get back from that $3,000 that you put in. And then that way, the 7 that you put in the tax-free savings account, you have that freedom to, withdraw if you need to. or put it into stocks or mutual funds or whatever the case is. RRSPs, because the money that I put in there, I don't plan on taking out until I retire. Again, because I don't want to pay with holding taxes and additional taxes through the income that I earned that year. I tend to put that money invested into a lot more risky investments. Obviously, more riskier investments through the long term, it will pay off. Supposedly, the returns are a lot higher. Whereas tax-free savings are a little bit more on the conservative side. But again, because I'm investing in dividend funds and paying stocks, I'm not too worried because I am getting paid every single month through that account anyways. But again, tax season's coming up. Consult with your tax financial planner or what have you, and do what's best for you. But whatever you do, just start doing it. Just start saving money. Set up something with your bank so that there's automatic payments in there. Even something as little as $100 every single month in RRSPs, $100 in tax-free savings account, and soon it will add up. And I am telling you guys, especially for those of you guys that are a lot younger, I start saving probably around 18 or so is when I opened up my accounts. But yeah, never too late to start, but definitely start as early as possible, because that way you will realize all those extra potential gains through compound interesting and just how easy you can save up through time. You won't realize it now. $100 a month here and there may not seem a lot, but it'll start to add up, right? That's $1,200 per year if you save up $100 per month, right? If you want to put 100 in both accounts, that's $2,400 per year that you'll end up saving. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. Again, it's not how much you make, but how much you save. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and I hope you enjoy my videos. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.